Thank you for attending my webinar today. And thank you all for taking time and investigating in cybersecurity and in your career, of course. I will introduce myself quickly so we don't waste a lot of time into the introduction of myself, just getting to the point of bug bounty and penetration testing. First of all, I want to make sure that everybody can hear me clearly, so nobody is getting stuck anywhere. You can just type it and I will see it. Okay, perfect. Okay, Abdulrahman, please check your settings because everybody is telling me that they are hearing me and the voice is clear. Just make sure that everybody is working on your side because everybody, because everybody can hear me clearly. Okay, perfect. Very good. So let me share my screen with you. Okay. You can right now see my screen. Is this correct? Okay, very good. So once again, just 5 minutes, if not a little bit or just a little bit more. My name is Ahmed Hassan. I am a professional penetration tester, working more than 3 years in this cybersecurity field, and also a professional bug bounty hunter. And this is exactly the topic from today, bug bounty hunting and penetration testing. And without going deep into my CV, I already did a lot of cybersecurity certifications, as you can see, without discussing them really in depth. And also did a lot of bug bounty hunting for different companies, governments, and so on. So I'm just showing you that. So you are sure that I am in this field and in this cybersecurity field. Exactly. Moreover that, I have a YouTube channel if you want to join me, where we discuss bug bounty, cybersecurity, and know each other in this field. Yeah. Without really wasting our time, just let us start. Let me share only my screen so you can focus on the screen. Just give me one moment. Very good. I hope the screen is now visible for everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, we are today discussing the point of bug bounty hunting methodology and penetration testing. The point is, what is exactly bug bounty hunting and what we will cover today. So the first question we want to answer, what is bug bounty or bug bounty programs generally, and what is penetration testing? I think everybody knows this word or this word penetration testing, but we will just discuss it in general. How can I start in bug bounty? How can I find, for example, programs where I can legally hunt on them? And simple methods for a beginner in bug bounty programs, and a small practical program or a small practical progress on a really bug bounty program, which we will do together at the end of this session. Yeah. So what are really bug bounty programs? Earlier, big companies, had a lot of domains and subdomains, and they have only a small security team, like for example, Google or Microsoft or any other company, big company. They have several over 10,000 subdomains, and the security team is not really big, so they can't really cover every site and go in depth to secure every subdomain. So they thought about bug bounty program or vulnerability disclosure. It's also named like this, where exactly the whole world can target the company and then try to find vulnerabilities and submit it to the company. And after that, the security team will really see these vulnerabilities and try to find if they are correct or not, if there are really a vulnerability or really shows an impact for the company or not, and then maybe pay an amount of money or give them or give the bug bounty hunter an acknowledgement like a certification or something like this. This is exactly the meaning of bug bounty programs, and where the companies are really focused on are the web applications. I mean websites, for everyone who doesn't understand the meaning of web applications. It's exactly the same like websites. And yeah, we will see like Microsoft, like NASA, Google, every these big companies have their own bug bounty programs to secure their clients and web. Like you can see here, some companies offers bug bounties. I mean, really money and awards for the found vulnerabilities, which we will see in the next slides, for really high or critical vulnerabilities submitted by the bug bounty hunters. Exactly, yeah. This is a small example for a bug bounty program. This is from Lenovo, and I submitted, I think, 1 week or 2 weeks ago, a vulnerability to Lenovo, and they accepted it. And as you can see, this is, for example, the first picture is the policy of the company, so where you can submit any found vulnerability. And what is the policy? It's really important to read the policy before targeting any website or any domain, so you can know what is in scope and what is out of scope, so you don't do any malicious steps, and the company can maybe target you or try to find your IP address and so on. So just make sure that you read the scope of the policy of the, for example, from Lenovo's policy, and after that, try to find vulnerabilities in their subdomains and domains. And this is a small example of the certificate or certification of appreciation from Lenovo, after you get a real acknowledgement from them that this vulnerability is a real vulnerability. Yeah. As you can see here, before it was only in Lenovo, it was only a certificate or an acknowledgement that you found a vulnerability. But like here in Apple, as you can see, security at apple.com, a security researcher was able to find a critical or a high vulnerability, and therefore they decided to pay him $5,000 for reporting this issue. And this is this is not really low. This is a high amount. So I think this is a good thing why bug bounty hunters try to find hard or maybe low vulnerabilities or business logic vulnerabilities. So they first of all make a good CV. So they really found a lot of vulnerabilities in the companies, or they are searching for payments, like big or small doesn't really isn't really important. The main point, they can really get money from these bug bounty programs. And this is the difference. So you have bug bounty programs with payment and bug bounty programs without payment. And by the way, it's also written in their policy if they pay or not, also on Hackerone. Yeah, so let's start with the real steps of bug bounty. So how I can see if this company has really a bug bounty program, you can simply search on the internet if they have a bug bounty program. Let's see, we will see later that, for example, NASA has one, and you can target everything from nasa.gov. So every subdomain from nasa.gov is in scope. We would see this later. The most important thing, like I said, read the rules and what is really in scope and out of scope. And the first thing everybody is doing, search simply for subdomains, which we'll see really in demo after finishing this presentation. To find web application vulnerabilities in possible subdomains. This is really the easiest step and the first step any attacker or hacker or bug bounty hunter is doing, so he can gain many and many subdomains. And as soon as you have really a lot of subdomains, you can find in an easier way vulnerabilities in web. Yeah, for example, this was this week. I was able with one colleague, just Hazem, just take care. You are drawing on the screen, so please don't do it. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was able with my brother to identify multiple vulnerabilities in a state.gov subdomain. This is a vulnerability disclosure program from U.S. Department of State, and we was able to identify a stored cross-site scripting vulnerability and stored HTML injection vulnerability, as you can see here. And this is a simple proof of concept. This is cross-site scripting, and this is HTML injection vulnerability, and this is at state.gov. And as you can see, you can find everywhere vulnerabilities when you really do the first step, which is subdomain enumeration. Very good. And this is the most important step. Try to find more subdomains as much as you can, so you can search for vulnerabilities. Yeah, exactly. And this is the part I discussed before. For example, here, search for a bug bounty program, if any, for example, NASA, vulnerability disclosure policy. Read the policy and then search for subdomains. Try to find possible vulnerabilities in these subdomains. We'll see it. Yeah, enumerate all possible subdomains, make a list of alive subdomains, and try to test them. Even automatically at the beginning will be no problem. The most important thing, you find really important vulnerabilities and submit them really ethically. Yeah, so let's see what we are discussing. As you can see here, if you want, I can share the link with you. I will put it in the chat, so you don't have to write it or really write it down. Yeah, I just posted it. Yeah, this is the website where you can see the vulnerability disclosure policy from NASA. As you can see here, we will click on it. And just Let me open another tab. And as you can see here, vulnerability disclosure policy from NASA, and they are discussing the policy. So what is in scope? This is the most important thing. The policy, what is in scope? This policy applies to all NASA managed systems that are accessible from the internet. This includes the registered domain name nasa.gov. This means every subdomain here is in scope. When you have the nasa.gov domain, then it's in scope. Yeah, and here you can read it, what is really in scope, sensitive informations, and also what is out of scope, which is also very important, like DDoS attack, denial of service attack, brute force, physical access, social engineering, and any other non-technical vulnerability testing. So at the first step, this is very important, not only here for NASA, it's generally important to read it in any public or private program which has a bug bounty program. The next step, which I discussed also, is the part of subdomain enumeration. And here I have for you a very specific website, which is maybe not really professional. I mean, you have other or a lot more methods to gain more subdomains than this website, but this is a really simple website for beginning in bug bounty programs. So this is called subdomain finder, and let me just give you this as a as a gift from me. Like, you can just type on them and then you will get the nasa.gov subdomains. You don't have to search for them or something like this. They are already in this link. A gift from me, it's easier for you. Yeah, and just let me show you the website. It's called subdomainfinder.c99.nl. And here you can just type the domain, and then the website will try to gain as many subdomains as it can. Maybe they are some which are not working. This is possible because not every subdomain is alive. And this is another step, a more professional step that you have to do while bug bounty hunting. You have to really, it's an automated step. You have to really check if every subdomain is alive or not. Just let us see any website. For example, let me open this website. And as you can see here, this is, for example, a website from NASA. And here you can just simply try to find simple vulnerabilities like XSS, SQL injection, business logic vulnerabilities, and so on. And this is exactly the process of bug bounty hunting in a general way, or in an easier way explained for the beginner in bug bounty hunting and penetration testing generally, because exactly when you are bug bounty or when you are hunting, this is exactly the same way you are doing penetration testing. But here you have to do, in a penetration testing process, you have to do, of course, professional reporting, and then maybe discussing it with the client and so on. This is not here. You just have to submit it per mail, and then you have a conversation through your mail client. In penetration testing, it's not like this. You have a real life, maybe face-to-face meeting with the client, maybe also meeting through Zoom, like we are doing it right now, and so on. Yeah, Hazim is asking, we should scan subdomain to get HTML XSS, or should buy Nmap also? Yeah, that's a good question. So let me just open, for example, a simple subdomain, and then of course you can do Nmap on it. or maybe try to get the IP address of the subdomain, and maybe look up in Shodan, where you can see already found, for example, headers, for example, PHP versions, and so on. But it's a good idea to also scan the IP address. I think this subdomain is not working, so we'll open another one. Yeah, it's a good idea because maybe FTP server is open and you can just log in with anonymous, and then you have a vulnerability. So it's of course another step of doing really hunting on a domain or a subdomain. But I think it's clear how you can exactly, you can just copy the IP address, and maybe we can do it together. Like you go on shodan.io, copy the IP address, and then search for it here. And then you will get maybe good informations, like they are using Apache servers, possible subdomains, the real domain, main domain, I mean. Yeah, and here you can see a lot of headers where sometimes they can publish good information for an attacker, and so on. So this is a process, of course, um, doing nmap on it to try to get sensitive information. Like as you can see here, PHP, they are using Cloudflare, Drupal, and through this you can, after that, search for possible vulnerabilities, possible exploits, um, exploit database through nmap scripts, and so on. Yeah, and this is very simple. This is the process of doing bug bounty hunting as a beginner, or for a beginner, just targeting a specific company or a specific government, I mean, of course, legally, and then trying to find valid or alive subdomains and targeting them for possible vulnerabilities. This is the half process of reconnaissance, and maybe I will do a next webinar for just, for example, exploiting vulnerabilities, like going in depth, using nmap, for example. I mean, you can see or have a look at my YouTube channel. I will next time in future also post a lot of bug bounty videos and how you can search for specific vulnerabilities and so on. But this is the process of finding vulnerabilities and doing bug bounty hunting as a beginner or as also a professional bug bounty hunter, because I am also doing the same like you, and we are all doing the subdomain enumeration, maybe someone in one way and someone in another way. Yeah, Shaime is asking here, how can I know the live subdomains in an automated way? I think I am doing it like this. I'm using HTTPX. If you heard about it, it's a tool um, where you can submit a list of subdomains, and you don't know if they are alive or not. And the tool will just check if there is a 200 response, or for example 500 or whatever. But from this tool you can just do an automatic process of getting live and not live subdomains. But I will just cover that in another lecture if you want me to do that. And this is exactly what I had for, what I have for. Yeah, and I think I now, you're welcome, and I think I now just arrived at the end of my session. Um, but we can just have a deep discussion, and you can just, of course, ask questions. So if anybody is doesn't understand any point which I already discussed before, just feel free to ask me. Yeah, I will share my YouTube channel. Just give me 1 second. I already posted it here up in the chat. There you have my YouTube channel. I will post a lot of bug bounty hunting, also penetration testing on it, for example, for specific vulnerabilities, to also let the community know, like I, for example, think like every bug bounty hunter or penetration tester, and this is a good step to know, for example, new people in the community of cybersecurity, and help new people in cybersecurity to gain more experience.
Hi, Mr. Ahmed. Can I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, of course.
Hi, my name is Ananta. I'm from Australia. First of all, I'm a big fan of yours. I've been following you on LinkedIn for quite a while now.
Thank you very much.
You've been kind of an inspiration. I've got a few questions. So I see that you post a lot of videos, lot of posts on LinkedIn,
Mhm.
and so I reckon you have a full-time job, do you, as a penetration tester?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So how do you find time to do bug bounty out of your busy schedule?
Yeah. So to be honest, I'm not doing bug bounty every day or every weekend. No, this is not the way I am doing bug bounty hunting. I am just doing it in my free time. Like, for example, at the weekend, if I have more time, I am not busy, I do it. So it's also the idea, how can I automate the process of bug bounty hunting, like using virtual private server and so on. But that's all not really going to help you to find manual vulnerabilities, because everybody is doing right now scanning, like, for example, with Nessus for automated tools.
Mm,
But to be honest, I try to do it in my free time, and this is not really a lot after work. For example, you are not really powerful, but I do it sometimes in my free time at the weekend. And
mm,
the vulnerabilities I submit there are from 2 months ago or something like this, and they just tell me right now they have already, or they got the vulnerability and they acknowledged it.
mhm.
Yeah, but I'm not doing it every day or every weekend.
Mhm. So apart from web penetration testing, do you do any sort of other penetration testing? So what would you suggest? So would you suggest to just focus and hone on your skills on one particular type of bug bounty, let's say a web penetration testing or a network penetration testing, or would you recommend to be a jack of all trades, like get hands on uh, like different genre of bug
Here
bounty
it's not
or penetration
only, yeah. Let me make something clear. It's not really, or not the most important thing is web application pen testing. You also have to understand, like, for example, web network, little mobile, little Wi-Fi. It's important for the companies, because if you are doing bug bounty hunting, it's good. You know how web applications are working, and how you can automate
Hello?
Hello,
Hi.
hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I lost you there for a while.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to mention that everybody's now doing web application penetration testing, and it's not very bad to gain more experience in other parts like network, like mobile, like maybe Active Directory. But this step can you do after you gain more experience in web application? Yeah, did you hear my last sentence?
It was unaudible.
Okay,
Sorry.
no problem. I will just say it again. Just my tip for everyone is starting in cybersecurity. Just focus first of all on web application penetration testing, and then just go on with network and other parts like Active Directory, mobile, and so on.
And I've seen that you've gone for OSCP as well. So is that certification? So I've made a lot of penetration testers here in Western Australia as well, uh, in whole Australia, and all of them they talk about OSCP a lot, and they say that it's one of the most renowned certification in terms of cybersecurity. So is that certification worth it? What would you what
Yeah,
do you say?
yeah. OCP is a very hard certification, to be honest. I did the last one because they changed a lot, and I did the last one, so I am not really sure what they are offering right now. They changed also and put it in Active Directory.
Yeah.
But as soon as you have really good experience in web and network, I would suggest to go for OSCP, but first of all, prepare as good as you can because it's not an easy certificate.
Yeah, so I'm preparing for OSCP at the moment. So would you recommend just to stick with Port Swigger Academy and just focus and hone my skills on web penetration testing at the moment? So would you recommend that?
Yeah, just go for Port Swigger, maybe if you can hack the box,
Yeah,
retired machines, and what I have heard from some friends, maybe try to gain more experience in Active Directory pen testing.
yeah, yeah. The OSCP as well. They changed the new syllabus, and I reckon it's 40% is 40. It's Active Directory is now worth 40% now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome, you're welcome. And yeah, I see the next question was, can you do a session from Shaimak? Can you do a session for on manual bug bounty? This is exactly the thing I had. I will just do the next webinar, or let me say a part of series about penetration testing, including the part of manual bug bounty hunting and trying to find vulnerabilities in real life scenarios live with you, where we discuss and not only really hunt, but also explain the process of manual bug bounty hunting. Yeah. So anybody needs or want to ask any other question?
I sorry. Wow. One more question, Mr. Ahmed.
Yeah.
Okay, and so I'm here at Port Swigger Academy at the moment. So and they focus on OWASP top 10, right?
Yeah.
In their website. So so is it necessary to know all those top 10 OWASPs, or is it just can I just focus on one particular, let's say, SQL injection and maybe hone my skills onto it? So what would you recommend in that
Yeah,
regard?
yeah. You don't really just to know them really very good. I mean, just have an idea what is exactly every kind of vulnerability, but you don't have to be really a professional bug bounty hunter in every vulnerability. But just make sure to have a general overview of everyone or every kind of vulnerability. So if you can, or if you face it in any exam, you can just solve the lab or the exam.
Okay, so know it all, and then maybe expert uh, gain expertise in one particular vulnerability. So is that what you suggest?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Um, yeah. Next question. Can you cite some tools you use when you bug hunt? Yeah. That's exactly what we will discuss in a manual penetration testing step or webinar, or the next webinar, I mean. We'll discuss how we can really penetrate or do bug bounty hunting manually, and what tools we are using for to really do it in an easier way, so we can not automate all the steps, but almost all of them. And this is, of course, an important step and part of bug bounty hunting. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. Does everyone have any other question? So I get sure that everybody is getting out from this session without any questions or open questions.
Your slides were quite elaborative, so that could be the
Thank
reason.
you very much. I hope it was really clear for everybody, and nice to see. And yeah, just let me answer also these questions. Thank you very much, Gary Norman. Do I need to send a proof of concept when submitting the bug to the company? Yes, of course. Some companies are just waiting for the real proof of concept, because if you are just sending a vulnerability without a proof of concept, they don't know that you already have a really exploit for this vulnerability. So it's not really getting to be seen as a vulnerability. So you have to really submit the vulnerability itself, so the security team can go through it and see that's a really exploit or vulnerability. Yeah, exactly. So at the end, I think I didn't show this slide. This is thank you for watching. Uh, I hope, yeah, of course. My YouTube channel is this one. You can have it. You can just follow me, and just subscribe my channel. Just let me make sure that I can paste it here. Yes, exactly. You can just subscribe my channel. I have already some penetration testing and bug bounty hunting YouTube videos on YouTube already in English. Before that, talking about penetration testing generally. And just let me also make sure that you can follow me on the next webinars which are coming, and we will try to give everybody the chance to really have an expertise in this part of cybersecurity and penetration testing. So at the end of my session, I really enjoyed the session with you, and it was really my pleasure to have you in my webinar. Thank you really for watching. Thank you for watching and hearing my webinar, and hope to see you again in the next webinar. Just make sure to follow me on LinkedIn, YouTube, and every social media platform I have. Happy to see you there, and wish you a nice afternoon. And yeah, we'll see you in my next webinar, I hope.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you.
you very much.